Remember when they hated, didn't think we make it. Now they break their neck just to look at me. Remember when I called you and you didn't fall through. Now you hate yourself, you can't look at me, look at me. Yeah. You made me. Yeah.
Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to the Call Me 805 channel. So on today's episode we're going to be figuring out why my car don't start. So a lot of things have changed since the last video. I've taken off this fender right here since it's been raining in California again. Been doing some wiring and tidying up under my hood so I can have all the cables from the away from the battery. But here's the new look of the car, guys. What do you guys think? I got the headlights from One Stick Fox again. Shout out to him on Instagram. I got the smoke 3-piece headlights. I already got new seals on them. As you guys can see, I just don't really like the quality of the seals. I tried pushing them down as much as I can, but that's how much they can go. Here are the new fog lights I put on. They might offset the car a little bit, but I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Should I tint these or what should I do with these? Let me know in the comments below. But here she is. What do you guys think? You guys like the white 1-piece better or the 3-piece? Let me know in the comments below. And right now I'm still figuring out the wiring right now, so I've already put in new bulbs in here. So corner lights. I just need to get the pigtail for the headlight because I'm missing that. For what this car had HIDs before and it had the 1-piece, so the HIDs and the 1-piece required a different style of bulb that goes in there. So they snapped off the stock pigtail and they spliced that wiring in. So I have to order new pigtails so I can have headlights again. But the HIDs, I already took them off. They're somewhere in my toolbox. I'll get them right now. But wiring is not really my specialty, so don't judge me in the comments of how bad my wiring job is. I know it's not that bad. I'm not calling myself a professional by all means, but here's what I have so far. I tried my best by trying to protect the wire loom and trying to make sure it's all secure, that nothing grounds out. So all power is with power and ground is by itself, so nothing's gonna get grounded onto each other. And it has a protective sheathing on it, so it prevents it from wear and tear, from grounding onto another thing, grounding onto the chassis, or rather be grounding onto a power or something. So let me show you guys what I have here. So this is a pretty useful thing, so you can get everything away from the battery. So instead of putting everything on your battery or from your solenoid, because you can face it, guys, when you got power, what's the easiest place to get power from these cars? Good luck trying to find a 12-volt switch on power, 12-volt power, because that's a luxury nowadays. So where are you grabbing power from? The easiest way to get power is either from the solenoid for like amps or something like that for stereo, or directly from your battery or your alternator. So under here I'm trying to eliminate any wiring that's under here, under the hood. But only thing I have here is the stock wiring. The only thing that I do have is this 3-gauge wire for the alternator. Oh, it's 4-gauge, pardon me. 4-gauge wire for the alternator. It's up to you if you want to go 3 or 4-gauge. 4-gauge is good enough. The wire doesn't get hot at all, and I still have really decent amps. So at idling, I get like 14 something, 14.3 or 14.7, depending on the day, how the car runs. But here it is, guys. So yeah, don't get scared right here. If right here, this isn't everything isn't supposed to be here. All this stock wiring, this is the headlight harness, and then this is the solenoid, the starter solenoid. So all that is usually in here on the other side of this, and the wire that has a little cover for the solenoid. That I just didn't like that in the bay. I'll show you how the wire how it looks right there, how wire tucked it is. So all my wiring right here is not factory. It is factory wiring, but it's not factory how they routed it, how I routed it, I should say, because I did the wire tuck so I can have everything right here hidden out of the engine bay, out of everyone's eyes. So let's get to the main part of the video. Today I'm gonna be figuring out why my car doesn't start. So when I put my car back together, my car was having issues with its coolant leak from the freeze plug. So I plugged up the hole right now, the freeze plug. It's still slightly leaking, so I might need to just dab it up more so it doesn't leak more. But after I was done with that, I had everything ready, cooling the system, and everything was ready to go. And then I went to go turn the car, and then it didn't want to start. It sounded like it was a dead battery, even though I let the battery charge 2 days prior to let it charge, because the car's been sitting since November, so the battery's pretty smoked. So I let it charge, and I went to go start the car, and it didn't want to start. And then I went to go jump start it to help the battery out. The car was I have an aftermarket gauge on my center console, which is also my USB where I charge my stuff. It said the car had 15 volts, and then I turned the ignition on, and I noticed my gauge would go down. And I didn't think much of it at the moment, but usually when your gauge goes down, that means there's something wrong, like a grounding issue. And I didn't think much of it when I turned the key. I was like, oh, it's been a while, so let's see. And I turned the key to turn on, to actually start the car. I just heard really fast. So I was like, what the heck? And I had my friend turn the key to try to see what that noise was coming from. If it was coming from the starter or from where it was coming from. And the culprit was the starter solenoid. So it was making all the noise from right here. I asked advice from my friends, from mechanics that work on these cars all the time. They told me it might be a grounding issue, so I wire wheeled all the points where the starter solenoid touches and any other grounds. I cleaned off them, make sure they had a good surface to get it ground to. So let's see if this helps my issue. And hopefully this helps you guys too with your starter solenoid, because these cars are quite tricky with their old wiring. Sometimes they don't want to start, and it's a big headache, these cars, man. These cars are easy and fun and simple to work on, but when it comes to stuff like this, it's just hard. But yeah, let me get to what these fancy things are. So, there it is. I don't want to lose those. These are plastic caps. So this is the power distribution block. You can get these on Amazon. Brutal has a good video about this. So this is how I have everything routed. So I'll power, you don't have so it comes with 5/16 studs, so you can put like something like your big wiring right here. Like this is the main power source for this, the source. This cable right here is in charge of giving power to all these, and this goes along with my battery cable, so I can grab it directly from the battery. So I only have one wire to the battery. So this powers up everything right here on this distribution block. And then I have my fans, my power wire for my 6AL2, and then this is just more cleaner. And then it has the 5/16 bolts that you can put the bigger terminals on, and for your small ones, there's these three little screws right here. You can use for your smaller ones, like these right here, for my fan and stuff, and for my grunt. So let's just slap this on, and I'll show you guys the other side. And then now to go over to the ground side. I only have a couple of things grounded right here, and there's only like 2 wires. This is a wire for the ground for fans. And let's pull this cap off now. And now this is where I have this, and this is where I have this connected to the small one up top. And that's it, guys. These are pretty simple. I still need to get a ground source for here. So best way to get grounded is always be safe, is to get it directly from your battery. So I'm gonna have one cable for each terminal, one to my battery and one towards one for power. Or another way is to get ground directly to the chassis itself. Find somewhere solid to get ground. Yeah, whether it be a block or wherever you have to get ground from. Wherever you place the distribution block. You don't have to place the distribution block right here. You can place it wherever you want, wherever seems fit for your application and what you're wanting to do. Even you can have these under your dash too, so we can have that one 12-volt switch that we all desire, that we all want. That would be nice to have that, like right there in the dash, especially when you hook up aftermarket gauges and a whole bunch of other stuff like radios and a bunch of stuff. That would be super nice, just to have everything hooked up right there, so you don't have to splice into more wiring than you have to. Just grab it directly from here, power from there, and then you're solid. But I did the majority of all the cleaning yesterday, and then the next day I did all this. It rained, so I already have a little bit of condensation already building up. Hopefully it's fine. But I put the tarp over the car so it doesn't rain, because I don't know why, but now my door is slightly leaking, so I'm gonna have to get new seals. And then I'm gonna show you guys how I routed this under, how I routed all this wiring through, and show you how to route the wiring to like a switch or something for your fans into your cabin. So since I'm deleting my cruise control, you have a nice easy access right here. It is gonna be on the other side, on your clutch, on the clutch pedal side. You'll have a nice hole right here as soon as you delete your cruise control right here. Sorry, let me pop the hood for you guys real quick. Alrighty guys, so in your stock application, what you'll have your headlight harness running from the top, and then to go down here to the bottom of the battery, and then I'll go under right here, and then you'll have, of course, come right here. But the way I've done it is there's a perfectly sized hole right here on the strut tower that you can fit all these wirings through. You can fit the headlight. You just got to go one by one with the connector. Who has a good video about explaining this? Foxcast Media has a good video about doing a wire tuck on one of these. And you just make sure there's nothing grounding out over here, because something does look a little pinched. Huh. Good thing I'm looking at this, because I am realizing that something is kind of kinked over here. So let's see this. You see this wire right here? That's what I'm looking at, because it looks kind of kinked if you ask me. What was that? Oh, that's the seal for this. Oh, it cracked. Yeah, these things are old, and you probably need to get a new seal for that. The trash. Oh, well, I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna look into this cable right here and see if it's damaged and if it's worked through. So alrighty, so here's the hole right here on the inside of the strut tower. You guys can see, and this is the little cable I was looking at, see if it was ripped or torn. And you'll be able to route this with the stock suspension, since you have the spring right here and the shock. But if you have coilers, I'm not sure about the clearancing about that, but for my application it's perfect for what I have it routed for right here, going through here. This harness is just long enough to plug in the headlight harness to the headlights, and that's how you would be able to do that. Alright guys, so where I left off, I saw some ants, some critters right here, so you might see the car's a little wet, or the floor is a little wet I should say, because I just got the hose with the high pressure. Got the hose and I just freaking went ham with the high pressure hose. I saw that they're climbing through the jack, so I had to get them off. So I used the high pressure hose and just wet the whole entire ground so they can stop crawling right there and try to push them away. I do not want spiders or anything in here, so I'm gonna try to remove this. I'm gonna try to get a little bit done today. So I'm gonna try to remove this. This is a vacuum line that goes to your brake pedal to the switch right there, and you just have to pull this out. Actually, I can just pull this one out right here, because there's actually a connector right here. And this is a wire right here you have to feed through out inside. I'll show you which connector it is. So this should just pop out, and then here's a little nipple right here. And then this one you can't just pull out. And this is a little grommet. So I'm gonna go inside real quick and take this out. Alrighty guys, so I went a little too ham. I found a little ant nest in here. Make sure to clean your guys' frame rails, because that's what I've been doing right here. I got a whole bunch of ants out of here. So this is where they've been living right here. And I thought they were gonna be from the ants that are right here, but now these are ants that have been climbing up the jack right here, the jack stands. So I was washing them all off real quick. And let me show you guys what I was talking about with the battery. So here's the battery cable. You guys might not have the same cable I have, but it really helps and handy when you have this style terminal. So you can just power it from right here, instead of grabbing it from up here and then bending and tearing and maybe tearing the wire. You'll have a good source right here. So we'll get it from right here. This is where your battery is at, and then your ground right here. I'm probably gonna have to get another ground, because this ground is kind of going out a little bit, so I might have to get a new one. And if you've seen that, it's kind of welded shut from the previous electrical things that this car had. But we're almost there guys. So this is just showing you guys how I have everything wired. I'm just trying to figure out why my car don't want to start. So I'm gonna try clean out. So what I've already done. So what I've already done is already cleaned up all the grounds. I already made sure everything's all nice and clean with the wire wheel. Like even cleaned the back of this, because the only thing that makes contact are just these tabs right here, and the bolts as well. Make sure to clean inside the holes as well for the grounds. And you have another ground right here, which comes from the battery to the chassis right here. And there's another one somewhere around here. I just can't remember at the top of my head. There should be two. There's this one and there's this one right here. This is probably the main reason why my car doesn't want to start, because of the rain we've been having for the past few days. But here it is, guys. I hope this was educational about the Fox, of why your car might not be starting. To try this, because these cars are pretty raggedy and already old now. So it is what it is, guys. You have to figure out what's wrong with it. Try to figure out why it doesn't want to start, because I understand. I'm like that too. I don't have all the money in the world to take my car to the shop all the time. I have to try to diagnose things and figure things out myself. I wish I had that type of luxury, but I really don't. But I hope this video was educational. You learned something from it. But I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for what this car has next, because this car is almost back from being on the road again. I'm excited for that. And then April 16th in April, catch me there at Fabulous Sports Forever. Alright, catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the one. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.